You know that feeling of getting cozy with a warm blanket, a good book, raindrops just kind of pitter-pattering on the windows, maybe some good music playing in the background, subtly, and a winter-scented candle. Sounds pretty good, right? But what if we treated gaming the same way? It would be much more enjoyable and much more relaxing. Plus, we'd probably be even more immersed in the games we're playing. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how we can make gaming more like reading a book. I don't know how many of you are readers, but let me tell you, nothing quite matches the experience of getting captivated and entranced with a good story. And none of this would be complete without pouring up some good coffee, so you know the drill. Pour up coffee, and let's get into it. So reading books is very similar to gaming. They both really use the brain and display their art form in front of us, whether it's on the screen or in our imagination. Where a book definitely gives our brain the freedom to imagine literally whatever it wants to, gaming does lay it all out right in front of us. And that's not a bad thing. From the visuals, the personalities, the music, or the sounds, gaming has got to be one of the most complete and interactive art forms out there. And it's no question as to why so many people get so intrigued by video games. Plus, if you're able to buy physical, which is not always the case, you can display them on a shelf the same exact way you would display your books. You can organize and set them up however you want. I always keep the game or book that I'm currently playing or reading out so I have easier access to it. That way I spend more time with it and I don't forget about it. And having physical media like this, whether books or games, really narrows down the choice paralysis. With physical, you're not scrolling through an endless library and you're not letting an algorithm pick for you. It is you yourself that dictates what you read or play. And personally, for gaming, this is great for having more frequent and less distracting gaming sessions. So I'm gonna name off a few games that I think compare to a good book or novel. Then I'll go into a bit more detail with them. A lot of games that give me this feeling are usually older or retro. I'm 28, so replaying some of my favorite games is like rereading some of my favorite books, and the nostalgia just hits differently. The Legend of Zelda games always gave me this feeling, especially when many of them, in a way, are just a retelling of the same story, just with, there's different stuff going on. Farming sims always help me relax with the nature, the animals, and the freedom of choice with a lot of the characters and the way the story plays out. And the Final Fantasy games have always had pretty peak storytelling. I know it's a game I have talked about quite a lot, as well as other people, but Final Fantasy VII has to be some of the best storytelling I've ever played through. It's not only a story that relates to real-world issues, it contains some of the best characters and personalities that gaming has to offer. The music is so fantastic, and the game just felt complete with a exposition, a climax, and a conclusion. And this game inspired me to dive into almost all of the other Final Fantasy games. So I'm currently playing through the very first Final Fantasy game on the PSP right now, and I'm absolutely loving it. It's kind of the definitive version of this game, but I'm taking it real slow. I'm reading all the dialogue, and really taking in the music. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I talked about it in regards to the last Pokemon game, but I really like games that don't have voice acting. I don't know if it's just I like reading text, but it lets your imagination give that character a voice. It allows you to create the voice in your head to exactly how you would perceive that person talking. For example, when Red 13's voice changes in Final Fantasy Rebirth, not a fan at all. In the original game, that part of the game was okay though, because it was text. I got to choose how I thought he sounded when his voice changed. And if you don't know that about Final Fantasy VII, I'm sorry, but just be prepared. Sometimes no voice acting, I think, is actually better, and can save a character from becoming kind of cringy. And it makes your brain more creative and engages you more in the games you play. And reading, no matter how, is great for expanding the vocabulary. Another pair of great games that I would argue is even better than some books is Red Dead Redemption 1 and Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm going to be focusing on the first game since me and my brother are replaying that one right now, and because 2 just contains so much and I would have to replay that game to really talk about it. But this game is so captivating. The music reminds me of back in my childhood when my grandpa or my dad would watch their westerns on TV. It's just such a cozy and nostalgic feeling, and I really can't describe it. I never thought the sounds or music from movies where people are literally just shooting each other the whole time would be so relaxing. Finding a game that can bring out these soothing feelings is fantastic when you're looking for a game to unwind and relax with. Everything in Red Dead Redemption just plays out so smoothly, with an insane conclusion that is just, it's so good. If you have not played Red Dead Redemption, it is a must play, and I urge you to play it right now. That's why me and my brother are currently book clubbing this game, where he has not played this game before, so we play a little bit, and then we catch up, talk about it, and then we play some more. He's not really into single player games, so this is a good way to get him into some old-fashioned gaming. Maybe I'm just really into the Western thing, but I've read my fair share of them, and gotten a few Western style video game tattoos, but Red Dead Redemption honestly holds its own to any of the Western books I've ever read. Just a quick recommendation, but Luke's Gold by Charles West is an amazing introduction to the Western style genre. It tells a short and sweet redemption story, and I loved every second of it. So anyways, back to how to make gaming feel like reading a book. The one thing that I can't talk about enough is handheld gaming. You know, being able to bring a gaming device with you is no different than bringing a book with you. They're both relatively close to the same size, and they'll both fit in any backpack. This not only allows you to have more access to gaming, but it also allows you to game in smaller and more frequent increments. And personally, I like gaming like that far more than just sitting at a desk all day and just... Sometimes it's just good to be able to take it wherever you want. Unless time is of the essence, of course. When I have time to game, I really take advantage of it. It's much easier though to game when you can, rather than wait around until you can dedicate a whole day to something like that. Finding games that are easy to pick up and put down is crucial, and it really helps find a good balance with gaming in your lifestyle. Gaming can have the same kind of portability as reading has. Like I said, I've been playing Final Fantasy on the PSP, and it is insanely portable, and it gives me the satisfaction of playing a retro game on original hardware. Which, if you're a person who prefers reading actual books over ebooks on a Kindle or a phone, you know what I mean. And I'm playing Red Dead Redemption on the Nintendo Switch, which actually just got a huge overhaul with, I think, 60 FPS and better resolution. And now I feel like it's just the definitive way to play this game. Or on the Steam Deck, of course. It just feels great to take gaming with you and log some short sessions in. It's just such an enjoyable experience to take a game slow, set the mood, and of course, accompany it with a good coffee. It will really help immerse yourself into a stress-free gaming session. Make it a no-rush experience. Just simply sit back and enjoy. It'll elevate your gaming experience, and playing in shorter increments will help you balance gaming around your lifestyle. You'll balance your habits out more, and you'll probably even pay attention to more details than before. As much as I love gaming, it's still best done in moderation. And if the time spent is a bit shorter, but more fulfilling, that's a win-win. So try to do some of these things to really make your gaming sessions feel like a reading session. So if you like what I'm doing here, or find any value in these videos, please consider hitting that like button, as it'll help expose this video to more and more of you. And if you enjoy videos about gaming, tech, and lifestyle, also please consider hitting that subscribe button and joining the family. Seeing this community grow is so fulfilling, and I love connecting and getting to know all of you. So before you go, make sure you leave a comment down below about which games make you feel like you're reading a book, or comment about how handhelds have made gaming more accessible to you. I'd love to know, so let me know. So with that being said, top off that coffee. Until the next one, peace.